Okay, guess who? You forgot my name already. That's okay. I'm not that popular anyway. But this painting is. This painting right here is an x-ray of my painting called Me Dion, which I'll show you a little bit later. And I'm going to show you right here, since I'm here and you're here, that this particular area is, I call his doily, this V area. And within this doily area, I'm going to be showing you is where a lot of the images of the Last Supper and Leonardo da Vinci's work. I own a painting called Me Dion. I have over 270, or I don't know, getting close to maybe 330. I got another 60 or 70 to load. YouTubes. And it's actually a good ordeal for you to really hang in there and give me a thumbs up and subscribe and pass it on to a friend if you want to learn. There's nothing wrong with exercising your brain. Okay, let me tell you, when you take this particular painting and you see this angle here and you match it with this angle here, you're going to notice that this angle is way over here, and there's a reason for that. You have to ask Leo. But I'll tell you partly is because there's other images that are hidden in here. But you're going to see this eyebrows twist like a snake, and here's the round little black eyes, as you see, are going to match up into here, that has the same zigzag with the eyes. You're also going to see this necklace, robe, square, and you'll see the rotation flow, along with many other things that we're going to go along. But I'll be pulling it up and down, so try not to blink. Okay. Okay, you can blink, but try not to lose your mark. Okay, this took like 4 hours to do, just to get it set. If you see right here, the zigzag, there's a black eye, you pull it back on down, there it is. Eye, zigzag, matches exactly in here. I'm going to do it again. Pay attention, no blinking. I think you blinked. No, I'm just kidding. If you actually look at this little indentation going up here of the light blue, it's the same as this indentation right there too. Okay, here we go. We're going to go back up. You see this little dot? I'm going to pull it back down. Okay. And it would be right here. Okay, you pull it back up. Now watch this. Okay, you follow this line across. Are you blinking? Okay, you can see this inner roll of the blue. Watch this. Do you see his eye? How it's faded and it's got this circular bigger piece right in here, holds around. Okay, I pull it down. Here's the bigger piece, and here's the bigger piece. If you see this face, here's an eye with a nose and a mouth, and the eye's looking this way. Of course, it's also looking this way and this way in a real fade on The Last Supper. If you can see it right here, even before I put it up. It's a pretty strong mark. Okay, you can see this roll, this round here. Watch, matches underneath his chin. See? Matches under his chin. You will not find an exact like this in this, because this is an x-ray. This is the underneath of his beginning of his build. Okay, so now you're starting to follow. I can tell. I'm psychic. Okay. Okay. You see how her image is here? So here's her face. It's going to be, okay. And we put this right back up. Let me get this back up so you can see. Here's the image. I'm going to pull it back down. Here's part of it right there. It shows a portion. Now I'm going to show you this cut line again that we were talking about. Now watch this cut line. You see the eyebrows again with the zigzag? You'll see this one little line running down. Watch this. I pull it down. You see this one line running down? You put it back up. Okay, this one little line running this way. Now I pulled it back down. You see these dots? It's called connect dots. Each one actually matches in each notch and movement. If you see how it zigzags. That's the way he is. He gives you a starting and finishing point in different areas. So, he's really, really, really good. Now, when you end up with this guy, and you see this rotation, you're going to see a vagueness. You can see the vagueness of his head of some of the outline blue. You see? Watch. There it is. He fits within the dark. So you put this back down, and then if you take a look at this little square here with this looking duck, it actually fits his goatee 100%. Of course, all of it does. Why? Because that's the way he marked it. If you see this square point, not all square points and items like this is his marking of letting you know where, you know, you set your drawing, but if you pull it back down, it's in black. You pull it back up, it fits in. If you take a look over here, you see this blue. You pull it back down, okay, and I got to get a little further around on that pad, and it was right here. So Leonardo da Vinci, if you can like make a triangle and you got your three little dots, he'll give you those three little dots to let you know where the triangle is, to show you where the Last Supper sits right across it. So you line up the three little dots, and that's where the Last Supper sits. But that's not completely true. And here comes the trick one. I hope you're really studying. The trick one is this. Even though everything I showed you is so, including this little rabbit-looking guy, when you pull him on down, you can actually see it, and then he changes into a lion's face, because that's what he is. One item could be 1,000 different items, but if you overall look at the over outlet, it's the same deal. Okay, but in many different images is built it. Along with that, he will take it and he make it a television that is like a flip book, but it's a painting. And as you see me move this, he will make it move across the room in images. And the reason why this looks like, how come she's aiming up when she's got her head tilted, is because you'll see that maybe we'll find her more complete in another image, like Lady with an Ermine that fits here, that's laying over the top of the Last Supper. But she's actually in here in a more kick over. So if he started in one smaller, what was his next move? So if he starts here with Mary, and he turns around and builds Lady with an Ermine, and he skips it just one hair, not even, it's probably one half of a hair width, and he starts his next build, and he just keeps overlaying like a totem pole. And that's how he gets these items to move like a TV, because they do. And that's how Charles Schulz did his cartoons, or Walt Disney, or Warner Brothers, or Mickey Mouse. You started with the flip book. Okay? You had to start somewhere before TV came. And you used to buy a book and you flip through it, and now there's your little cartoon of images. Well, he was playing when he was doing his art. It gets a little bit more heavier. And a little bit more heavier is in a lot of my other YouTubes. Not only is a lot of these, when you take them and you blow them up, they're not only just cartoons that turn into portraits, that portraits turn back into cartoons, and vice versa, and it keeps going and going and going until you actually end up with the Mona. You're going to find that that particular item so happens to be a couple trillion images inside the Mona that makes the Mona. So he's making everything you see can move across the room. Now, this is the main image. It's called Me Dion, and it's an extremely handsome man that is over 565 years old, and it is believed to be by myself, not only that I have about 5 years in it, steady, 8-hour days plus, is that this painting is extremely rare. I mean, because it's his diary. For an example, if I take this and I blow it up, I mean, right down to the pixelized, okay? We're going to pixelize that thing. Whoa, it didn't pixelize. Can you believe that? I know I got good. There it goes. I was just a half a second off. Okay. We're not even nicking it, okay? But when you get into these little doodads, little dots that you see, those are cartoons and images that turn into the Mona. And he's got, like, that turns into a boat. What's on his arm? I mean, these are people inside these things in which he did. And then inside that eye of this person is another body and build. It goes endless. This guy was crazy insane with talent. Look at this, is a cartoon dude right here. This is one big cartoons of each individual making this main face sitting on this on the edge of the boat. And that's nothing. That is considered to be large. If you actually look, there's somebody in front of them. You see? Here's a big one, and here's a little guy that's built out of another 20 little guys, and then he makes it in shadows. But see, what you don't see is these are portraits. These little dark spots that zigzag around like this is probably 1,000 little images. And out of those 1,000 little images, okay, if you follow the shadow of the different color, it's his dinosaur, or it's his cartoon, or it's his dragon, or it's his imagination of whatever he wanted to make. And boy, that man can make some imaginary looking deals. Now again, back into the Last Supper, I found what these images are portrayed to be on some of them. For example, if you pull this down and you really, really look, there's a person here on the chin. That is a person looking this way. And there's one eye, and there's the other eye, eye. Here's the top of his head, and here's his body, and he's laying in here like a child. That's like a child, small person. And it gets, it gets a little bit wilder. Well, it doesn't get a little bit wilder. It gets beyond extremely wild. It does. So, I mean, these are people building inside a rabbit. All this green. If we get into what I'm trying to show, you can see in his wear is like a owl, and it's a totem pole owl, 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 and all this. So here it is. Boom, boom, boom. Here you can see it right through here, his build going. You see an arm running through this way, you put it on up, and you get this guy up in here. There it goes. So why does his arm float over here? It could be several different reasons. Because I've seen where you can have the walking lady that go in here and points at Judas. And I do believe this guy is Judas. I know he's supposed to be the right of Jesus. Well, this is the right arm of Jesus, and I think this is Judas. But I do have another YouTube that shows him being pointed out. And all I can try to say is that I'm finding more and more and more unbelievable shots just by looking at my YouTubes. So I noticed a couple of little things in the background. The color screen on this monitor gives a little distortion until YouTube hits it, that brings out and highlights it a little bit more, which is benefit for you, and it benefits for me because I learned from my own. I want to say God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens. Thank you very much, excuse me, for joining and passing on to your friends. Please give me a thumbs up. I'm looking for a GoFundMe page, and I have Camaros for sale. If you're interested, please leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Amen.